Art is too important not to share. Welcome to the Allie and Callie Artcast.
Hi, I'm Allie.
And I'm Callie, and we're with the Coeur d'Alene Arts and Culture Alliance. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
We're back.
In this crappy weather.
Is it June?
No, I think it's March.
I actually put on my winter coat today.
Oh, my goodness.
And I turned on the heat.
You did?
I was freezing.
It's cold.
But it could be worse. It could be 111.
It's snowing at Schweitzer.
Is it? Really?
Yeah. That could be worse.
That's worse. I think
here.
I'd rather,
I think
we're okay.
I would sell the house and move. I would.
So it's not so bad. So what's up with you?
Well, I just got back from Revelstoke, Canada, visiting Megan.
How was that?
It was a really nice weekend, and it was supposed to rain the entire time.
And it didn't. How lucky are you?
And it kind of sprinkled off and on Saturday, but we were able to do a bike ride. We went walking downtown. I spent way too much money.
Yeah, I saw your purse. I love it.
Yeah. I got that at a consignment shop, though.
Oh, well, there you go.
I know. I felt really good about
Good
that.
job.
But I made up for it with my new overall shorts.
I saw them. Those are cute.
They're really cute. I've been wanting overalls for a long time.
They're very cute.
Yep.
Fun.
And then Sunday, we went for a hike to Begbie Falls. And it was beautiful. And it was up and down. And I blew my Apple Watch out. I mean, it just blew up.
Oh, yeah. You hit all your rings.
I did. Oh,
Good.
Man. I think I got the best workout day of my life.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
Good.
But yeah, it was really fun. I did not want to come home.
I don't blame you. Because it was rainy.
Yeah.
And cold.
I got home. Well, it rained the whole way home. And it's a long drive.
Yeah.
6.5 hours.
Oy.
Oy is right.
Oy. Yeah.
And I would not stop for gas, and it was 0 when I pulled into the driveway this morning.
Scary.
Or last night.
Scary.
Oh, well, it is what it is. I just didn't want to stop.
I just took my family, my distant relatives back. They were visiting from Eschelbronn, Germany, and they were here for 10 days.
Yes.
Uwe and Bianca and Annika. Yeah. And we had a very fun time. It was, but what I noticed after 10 days of spending time with broken English and broken German, and it was like, you hungry? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Dessert? Coffee? Tea? Everything is short and sweet.
Right.
And then they would talk, and I'd be like, am I catching this? And then you'd catch like 3 out of 4 words that you're like, no idea. Just go,
Well, I'm excited about our guest today.
Me too.
Right at the moment, we have Terry Ann Swanson Blakemore and Brooke
Baggette Milbourne.
Like a baguette?
Well, like the diamond cut.
Oh, I like that.
That's
I like that's way better.
Oh, that's way
We're
better.
gonna do it.
Although I do like the bread
I'm not
also.
going to baker.
Yeah, right.
The twinkly thing.
But they're both from the Coeur d'Alene Arts Association.
Yes.
And we would love to hear more about the association and the events you have going on in the near future. And tell us about yourselves.
Yeah. First, we want to hear about you.
Yes.
So let's start with you, Terry.
Oh, wow, me.
Okay. Well, what's your history? How did you get involved in art? What was what's your background?
My uncle gave me a watercolor set when I was about 5. And I was very, very neat and careful with it. And he grabbed the brush and pushed it in the water, pushed it into the watercolor, and said, "This is how you do it." And from then on, I was hooked. But off and on through high school, various places, And then I had my son. So it was a number of years before I was able to go back to art. And I went on and got my degree at the California College of Arts and Crafts in Oakland. And immediately realized if I could do that, I could do anything.
Right.
So I went into theater. I started studying with Gene Shelton. So I studied method acting for 12 years and did theater and plays and different things like that. And I was loving it, but time passed, and ultimately, eventually, I ended up in Coeur d'Alene. And around that time, I had some back issues. I couldn't do theater. I couldn't jump around like I was used to. We didn't know what was wrong. And so I started painting. And my degree was mainly in drawing and watercolor and a scattering, but never really oils. I did them on my own, but I never had training. So I did start doing that seriously. And I've taken 24 workshops, 4 of them with Sherry McGraw and David LaFell, and I could give you a scattering in the last 10 years. And a myriad of videos. And I focused initially on portraiture, which was the most difficult. And then now I'm moving on into landscapes and other things, which is just as difficult, just a little easier because I've done portraiture.
Yeah.
But I wanted to mention Yvonne, who'll be here later, because I joined the Art Association because I was in the Chamber of Commerce and I saw the little brochure and thought, that would be fun. I want to see my paintings there. So I joined, and a year or two went by and I never went to a meeting. I paid my dues, and they had a newsletter that came out and it would tell me, oh, you can teach at the school. So I go teach at the school. I did the things that were there, but I didn't get involved until one day I got a phone call. And Yvonne said, I'm Yvonne Benzinger, and I'm looking for someone to help us. We need officers. We need this. And I thought, I should get more involved. I don't want to do it. But I did. And she said, if you'll come in and run for vice president, I will help you. I promise. And she did. She really did help me that entire, I think I did 3 terms. She helped me the whole way. She is such a mountain of information, and I would come up with a bunch of ideas, and a week later she'd have this list. I'd say, what's that? That's those ideas you had. When are we going to write them? Oh, okay. So that's how I got involved. And then time passed, and we had COVID, and we lost a lot of members. It was extremely difficult for the association. And after that, the woman that had been president was tired, and it came along to me, and I thought, well, I love this. It brought me something when I walked in the door of the Chamber of Commerce, and I wanted to continue for other people to come to Coeur d'Alene. And that's how I got into this mammoth work that I'm doing, which involves the show we're going to have this next week, which I'm really excited about. We have new members like Brooke here that you'll meet in a minute. And so many of them that are enthusiastic, and they're bringing that enthusiasm to me. And I initially thought, well, I want to inspire everybody. And what's happening is I'm getting inspired, which is really fantastic.
That's great.
I love it when that happens.
It's just, I'm just enthusiastic. I have so many ideas I can't do them all. But before I forget, I just wanted to say that when we talk about the history of this association, Yvonne was doing a bulletin board for the library show a few years ago, and she put all the history on this big bulletin board. And she said, here, Terry, I'm putting a painting of yours on here. Here, we're putting these paintings on the bulletin board. I'm like, okay, they're putting my painting up there. But I never read the history. And it was just this week that I did, and I couldn't believe it, because it's almost like this small town group of 13 people, when this was a small town, formed an art association, and through it they made a blueprint for what created all these wonderful things we have here. So then I had more respect for the association.
Nice. Well,
That's
we're
great.
looking forward to hearing more from Yvonne when she gets here about the history. That'll be great.
So the show is Friday, June 17th. We have the opening, the reception from 5 to 8 o'clock. There'll be about 20 artists there. They do watercolors, oils. We have woodworkers. We have all kinds. We have abstract. We have everything there. There'll be wine and hors d'oeuvres. And Kyle Pagliato is going to be demonstrating. We're missing Terry Lee this year. He demonstrates every year at this, and he's going to be out of town. He said, I'm going to miss it. So
bummer.
He promises next year, but we have to give him more notice.
Yeah.
So, but Kyle will be demonstrating, and then we have music from the conservatory, the new Coeur d'Alene Conservatory.
Nice.
We'll be having, and a guest pianist, TJ Lynn. I have not heard her, but I hear she's wonderful. And last year, the Music Conservatory was with us, and they donated their time, and the students were there with the cello and the violin. They're really wonderful.
Yes.
It's a wonderful, wonderful new beginning here. And we have 3 pieces of art that we've raffled off, and that supports the North Idaho College Scholarship Fund. So those tickets are $3 each, and there are 3 pieces that'll be raffled off. Parking is free. Entrance is free. We also go on
Because it's at the fairgrounds,
It's
right?
at the fairgrounds, right? And we're a nonprofit, so we love donations. If anybody wants to donate, that's always wonderful. And we will be there all day Saturday. And we have a country clothesline that we're putting up, which will have items $25 and over. So it'll be unframed art on
Oh, fun.
clothespins, and one of our members, Sandra Bergeron, she has painted the clothesline multicolors, and she's got multicolor clothespins. It's just, I haven't seen it, but I can envision it. It's got to be fun. So I hope you guys will make it.
Yeah. So don't forget, tonight you have a chance to go see this at the fairgrounds from 5 to 8 p.m. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Free
And
parking.
all day Saturday.
And all day Saturday. And free admission.
Actually, we open at 10.
Oh, at 10. Even better.
Yeah.
That'll
we just
be fun.
don't drink wine until 5.
Oh, okay. Well, you know when I'll be there.
That's exactly right.
I'm just kidding.
Hey y'all, it's Jason from Tubbs Coffee Roasters. We are North Idaho's specialty coffee roaster. We are homegrown and we are local. We love coffee and we love our community, especially Allie and Callie and Artcast. We have a retail space in our roastery in Hayden, and we can also be found on the shelves at Super One and Yolks. And if you like to buy coffee online, we do offer subscriptions. You can find us at tubbscoffeeroasters.com. Support arts and culture and your local roaster. That's all.
So let's go and talk to Yvonne. I've known Yvonne for quite a while. She's been part of the Coeur d'Alene Artist Studio Tour in the past. Mm-hmm. And Yvonne's been involved in the Coeur d'Alene Arts Association for a long time, right, Yvonne?
Yes.
So it would be great to hear a little bit about how this organization started. I know that Terry alluded to the fact that it started a lot of other things that kind of evolved from it. So let's hear a little bit about it.
Okay, if I just read along?
Absolutely.
A little bit about me to start off with. Originally, I'm from New York State and moved to Coeur d'Alene in 1978 because my husband had a job here. I was initially not too excited with the art scene here at that time. A lot of Western art, not at all like the East Coast, which was a lot more contemporary. I got involved in a couple of exhibits in the area, met a few folks, and found the Coeur d'Alene Art Association and joined. That was about 1978, 1980. They were meeting in the Cooperative Extension building near the jail at the time, and over my years involved with CAA, looking through old scrapbooks and notes, I discovered their history with art on the green. In the beginning, the Coeur d'Alene Art Association was founded in 1961 by Ruth Willoughby, Node Myers, and Opal Bruton, with 13 original members and open to all persons with an interest in the visual arts. Membership is currently about 75. Opal, Node, and Ruth served terms as president during many of the early years. In late 1964, the Coeur d'Alene Art Association initiated their monthly newsletter, Brush Talk. Meetings and exhibits were held in the Washington Water Power Auditorium. Now, that may have been the same building as the Cooperative Extension was in. I'm not sure on that. In the early years, Coeur d'Alene Art Association established an annual spring art exhibit, an annual art festival and clothesline sale in City Park, and a Christmas show, as well as ongoing exhibits in many local businesses and public places like the library, City Hall, and the courthouse. A forerunner to Art on the Green, in 1965, Coeur d'Alene Art Association held the first North Idaho exhibit at North Idaho Junior College and included other art clubs. By 1967, this exhibit had expanded and become the third North Idaho Eastern Washington Arts Festival, including a clothesline booth at North Idaho Junior College. In the fall of 1967, Opal Bruton, the current president, established Lakeside Gallery and Studio, one of the first in downtown Coeur d'Alene at 611 Lakeside. Opal offered classes to students of all ages and opened the gallery with a student show, following it up with an exhibit by the Coeur d'Alene Art Association. In 1968, Coeur d'Alene Art Association did not hold the first arts festival at the North Idaho Junior College. Instead, they held a November Arts Festival at Carpenter Hall on Lakeside Avenue.
Wow.
In late 1969, a group led by Pat and Sue Flamia gathered to form a cooperative community arts council. Opal Bruton was part of this group. In the next few years, they chose committee heads of the various arts, set up the structure for the council, and named the Citizens Council for the Arts. An arts festival was planned with Opal Bruton as festival chairman. In June of 1969, the first summer arts festival, sponsored by CCA, was held near the Rotary Courts at May McEwen Field. Opal continued as chairman for several years. In 1979, the festival moved to North Idaho College and Old Fort Sherman grounds. The clothesline booth featured at CAA shows was added, and a special booth was designated for the Coeur d'Alene Art Association for as long as the members wanted it. Eventually, Pat and Sue Flamia became chairpersons, and the festival was named Art on the Green. The Coeur d'Alene Art Association was incorporated on the 26th of July, 1971, as a 501c7 nonprofit corporation under the laws of the state of Idaho. Its mission as a community organization is dedicated to promoting interest in and fostering knowledge of the visual arts and encouraging participation by its members in professional, public, civic, and association exhibits and events, and to advance the public understanding and appreciation of the arts. They provide artwork for display as well as for sale. At the time, it was at Frame of Mind. That has kind of changed there. Art on the Green, the library, and other public locations. Coeur d'Alene Art Association opens workshops to non-members and invites the community to attend occasional art demos and to take part in their weekly Paint with a Friend Day. They have volunteered in Ironman, made donations to the public schools, the Kroc Center, the Carousel, and have supported the NIC Foundation with scholarships for art students. Members have volunteered and participated in school art days, Art on the Green, juried student shows, and taught art classes.
Nice.
That's
After
amazing.
that, I have personal involvement.
That's great.
So the at Art on the Green, you guys talked about your clothesline, and that's one of the things that I've always loved about the Coeur d'Alene Arts Association is that clothesline booth that you have at Art on the Green every year. It's really fun.
Yeah. And that is really under Art on the Green. It's not under the Coeur d'Alene Art Association specifically.
It's not? I thought the Coeur d'Alene Art Association kind of put that together.
The members of it did. I don't. Were you familiar with Betty Bray? She was one of the early arts people and part of the forming of the Coeur d'Alene Art Association. When I first came on the scene, she was chairing that booth, and I picked it up from her after a few years.
Oh, okay.
And took over, and then there have been different people that have shared it over the years. So, but
out of all the people you've talked about, the only one I'm familiar with is Opal Bruton, because I remember her artwork, and I remember how much I loved her art.
See, and I don't think I ever met her.
Really?
No.
Oh, that's so funny.
Wow.
So, I became friends with Betty Bray, who was a local artist and sign painter. And we had that kind of in common because I was a screen printer at the time, and I was doing signs, and so we connected very well. That's how I got hooked into the Coeur d'Alene Art Association.
Oh, that's really cool.
And Yvonne, for our listeners, what kind of painting do you do? What's your medium?
Right now, anymore,
yes,
it's collage.
Collage. Oh.
Abstract collage, preferably.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. I know. I love your work. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I just find it fun, relaxing. I just,
That's great.
No pressure on it. You can do anything you want.
That's right.
You said that you were from the East Coast. Whereabouts?
I grew up in Albany, New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. The East Coast is well known for way more contemporary art.
I attended the Albright Art School in Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
That's where I got my degree, and I actually got the degree through the University of Buffalo that was local there too.
Right.
So. And I met my husband there, of course.
Oh, right.
And he brought you here.
So that's how I got out west.
Right.
Hi, Allie here. Hey, do you love our Artcast? Be sure to follow us on your favorite podcast app or like us on Facebook to get notifications about some upcoming giveaways, like an official Allie and Callie mug. Our audience is growing too, and we are a great outlet for advertising. Consider being a sponsor, and Callie and I will record an ad for you or help you record it yourself. Thank you for listening.
Yvonne had to leave because she had another engagement, but
Boy, she did a great job.
She really did, and Terry was just telling us, and I bet she'd tell us again, just the value of Yvonne on this Arts Commission.
Yvonne was amazing. I didn't even realize until this year just how amazing she was. We would be wandering around. I was in charge of demos for the meetings, and I'd come up with ideas, and she'd type them up, and then she'd have a list of things I should do to get it done. And one day I was painting a portrait of a young girl reading, and she said, "You know what we ought to do? We ought to make bookmarks." I said, "Okay." So she made all these bookmarks, cut them up, we took them to all the libraries, just totally independent. She would come up with these ideas, and off we would go. Then here recently, when she began to not be as involved because of her husband's illness and other things, it became very clear just how much she had done. Mm-hmm. Because she had done the publicity for the last 10 years almost single-handedly. And the library show, she made that 4x6 bulletin where she researched all the history, all on her own. Nobody ever asked her. She just did it. And you'd turn around and she'd have something done. And I don't think any of us really realized just how much she's done over the last 10 years because she never took any bows.
So, Brooke, tell us not only about your artwork, but what you do for a profession, because I have a feeling that it really ties in together.
I think so. It feels like it, yeah. So I'm a doctor of acupuncture and herbal medicine. And I've been doing that almost 20 years now.
Wow.
And I love the work, but almost as quickly as I got my degree and started doing that work, I came into more understanding of the energy fields and how those things affect each individual and their consciousness and their health and how that's intertwined. And so I really sort of kind of organically leaned into that aspect of it because it really appealed to me. And there was a huge amount of benefit for my patients. So also my patients sort of leaned in that direction, and I became much more involved in the intuitive aspect of the work. So I do intuitive energy healing, and I had a clinic, up and running for a long time, and then when the Rona hit, and nobody was allowed out of their house. The Rona, the dreaded Rona. Like all of us, I had to sort of like find a new equilibrium, and I found my way by doing remote work. So I do work on the telephone with my clients. So I retain my clients from whence I came on telephone, and then I've got new clients here that sometimes I work in person with, or sometimes I work on the phone with.
Are you still doing acupuncture?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, when I see people in pain, I can't help but open my big mouth and
say,
offer
I know.
to help.
I was like, do you have office hours?
I'm like concierge service.
Yeah, right. I know. I'm like,
I can get people out of pain usually like within 5 minutes. It's
really,
yeah. I got some tricks up my sleeve.
Oh my God.
It's just the school that I went to, the classes that I've taken. Anybody who's done what I can do, I mean, trained for it really can do it. So but it sort of seems really unique, right?
Right.
Kind of a new idea. What I can get out of pain, but like it happens over and over again.
Wow.
So I'm thrilled to be able to offer
acupuncture?
that.
Right.
It's acupuncture, but I use a little device that is not a needle. It's a little like piezoelectric spark. Like the thing that makes a lighter light, the little spark. I have a little spark on the end of a clicker, and I use that. So I have that with me, basically carry it. It's in my car. I have it like
I think
3 of
Kristen
them.
has a knot.
She has a knot, and my neck is out of.
Yeah, legit. I could just like
legit.
like let's press pause. I'll run over and get my clicker, and I'll fix you up.
We're gonna hit pause.
Totally.
We're gonna hit pause one more time.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that sounds. And then also, you're a painter.
Yeah, I'm a painter.
And
so I think there's like an intuitive aspect to art as well. I've always been kind of leaning into the creative. It's that side of the brain, right?
Yeah.
And I like the creative aspect. I've done all kinds of different things along the way. And then when we moved here, we have this house that has like the kind of opening to the house, the foyer / living room / open kitchen area. There's like 19-foot white walls, and I'm just looking at them and going, well, what am I going to do with this?
What should I paint on this?
Well, it was before I actually started painting. I literally only started like at the end of last year.
Is that right?
You were Rona inspired.
It's Rona inspired.
Rona art.
Yeah,
is what I'm gonna call it.
Well, it actually came from like what am I gonna do? And then I think maybe I should look at painting, because I didn't see anything that I liked or that I thought my husband might appreciate the price point that I enjoyed looking at.
Oh yeah.
And so I thought maybe I could do something. So I was like looking at YouTube, how do I paint? What do I, shadow, light, landscape, how am I going to do all this? And that's sort of how I fell into it.
Right. And then you found the Coeur d'Alene Arts Association.
Yeah, so they're on Facebook. There was one of the members who's on the board just on her own personal page, which I was kind of connected to in the Coeur d'Alene Moms group, asked everybody, what do you do besides television in the wintertime to keep yourself entertained? And because this was like newly discovered for me, I had to chime in and be like, I paint. You know? I'm so excited to say it.
Yeah. I'm a painter.
I paint. And because it has been life-changing for me. It does tap into something really deep and joyous. It warms my heart to do it. And people, my friends, people who look at the art also tell me that they enjoy it, so that feels very good all the way around. Like, can I spread this joy, and the joy that goes into it comes out of it.
Right.
So I shared that with her, and she asked to see a piece, and I sent a piece over, and she said, you need to join the Coeur d'Alene Arts Association. And I was like, me? Are you sure? What?
That's awesome.
So then, I came in, and it was this great meeting with this lovely bunch of people, and I just felt right at home, welcomed right in, and super excited.
She's so active. She does so much already. She calls me up or she texts, guess what I did today? And I'm like, oh, wow.
Well, I feel like there's so much already there, so much already been done, all of that foundation that's been laid. And, we continue to, if we contribute, you're going to get out of it what you put into it.
But there is so much healing in art, too.
It is.
So
it's tremendous.
Oh, for sure.
It's tremendous. Yeah. I mean, I have, my patients are kind of like my built-in audience for like, you want to look at my latest painting?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, let me see,
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of people who've described it as like organic and biological, which I thought was a really interesting take.
Ooh.
And
well, I really want to see it now.
I know.
I'm curious.
Well, I'm working on a website.
Good.
And she did a huge...
I've got one going.
She did a huge 4x4 palette.
Yeah.
Is it acrylic pour that you
It
do?
is.
A pour.
And we put lettering on it over the beauty of it. But we did like a dozen of these palettes, but this is the only really huge one, was the one she did. But it was to inspire interest in the show.
Oh, good.
So
Which I didn't know it was going to be that. I was just like... Terry had the idea, and Sandra Bergeron had the idea that they would be promoting the upcoming show.
We wanted to do a lot of big ones, but
yes,
we sort of ran into issues like whether the wood would warp and what the wood costs and who would cut it, who would paint it, and time and how would we set it. So this was a trial run to next year.
Yeah, I kind of like hit the fire hose when I joined the group, because it seemed like there was so much going on. Everybody knew what everybody else was talking about. I was just all, kind of shaking my head. And volunteering for like, I'll do this, I'll do that. So I volunteered to do this, having no idea that it was going to be a sign for the Coeur d'Alene Arts Association. And luckily, I didn't find that out until after I did it, because I would have probably...
Then it would have been too much.
I would have been probably like biting my fingernails.
Stressed
and not
about it.
Yeah,
Like a commission?
Yeah, so once it's done, and then Sandra told me, oh yes, well this was going to be a sign, and I was all,
That's great.
So but I do feel like the art has been healing for me personally, and vitalizing something inside that was sort of like subdued or buried. Where I lived before when I was a kid, it reminds me of Coeur d'Alene. There was more sort of like attachment and connection to nature, and it was quiet and sort of sleepier when I was growing up, and it became so hustle and bustle. I was from Silicon Valley. And it became it really lost its luster. Towards the end, I was done.
Yeah.
Really done with being there. I'd been like tapping my toe, already waiting to get out, like, come on, let's get it.
Yeah.
And then the Rona hit and slowed everything down for us, but we've made it here. And there's something about like the surroundings of the lake and the mountains. I refer to Campfield Mountain. I live in Dalton Gardens, and I've got Campfield Mountain in my view, and I'm always asking, like, how's my mountain? Talking to the kids, like, when it was fogged over just the other day, I was like, oh, my mountain disappeared.
Where's
you
my
guys,
mountain?
where'd it go? So I feel really connected to the ability to just go ahead and sit and stare at the water and whatever.
Yeah.
And that fluidity, and the nature. So this area has really brought something alive in me, and it's been healing for me personally. And I think that is coming out in the art.
It's a good reminder because I would say, those of us who've lived here a little bit longer than 2 years, you reach a point where you think, wow, it's just so divisive and everyone's angry and we're all blah, 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 blah. And then you wake up and you go, it's pretty beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
I tell you, the days that I feel like I just go, I don't really like people anymore, and that it's just people are too angry and blah blah blah. I go for a walk and I see my bunnies and I see the deer and I walk by the lake and I see the waves and I go, okay, there's more to life.
Take a deep breath.
I take a deep breath and I'm like, this is why we're here. It's okay. Things will be okay.
Yeah. And you guys are kind of in the hub. So with all the changes going on, the demographics, everyone is just feeling it. And change causes tension. We don't like change. We get nervous, uncomfortable. I stay away from downtown. I get mad if they ticket me. I know they move the sign after I park.
I've been here exactly 2 hours.
They don't see me down here too often because of that.
Right.
But the art has such a great, that's the other part, is the art. Art has the heart of Coeur d'Alene, I think.
Right.
It has that. And that's that you find
and earth without art is just eh. Well, Brooke, I also want to know what you said you're doing a website. What's your website?
My art website is evokecollection.com.
Evoke?
Evoke.
I love that. Evokecollection.com.
Collection.
Yeah.
So when will it go live?
It's live already.
It is? Oh, good. I'm going to go check it out.
Gaining improvement along the way.
Right. Well,
that's good.
Yeah. It's probably just a work in progress.
Oh, I think it'll always be. Yeah. Yeah, because it's
because
the fluctuation of the
your
pieces coming and going. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I also want to go back to Terry and mention that you have a show at the Jacqueline Art Center June 23rd.
Yes.
And
21st or 23rd. It's a Thursday, and they're having a wine tasting.
Yes,
too.
I know.
So, wine tasting.
And they'll be hors d'oeuvres.
I know.
We might have to.
And I'm going to have actually 40
pieces.
40 pieces. Yeah.
That's a lot.
And I actually called Greg, I can't say his last name, but it's Chavinsky. He's a watercolorist.
Oh, okay.
And he's at the Blackwell Gallery.
Oh, okay.
And he does trains and planes and cars. And so I call this Seen and Unseen, an eclectic journey through art. And I named it before I even called him. But my work is very, very diverse. It goes from palette knife to representational. And I've been criticized a lot because of that. And I thought, well, this is just how it's always been. And I named it because so much of it hasn't been seen and some has. And there's always that unseen thing behind what you paint that we want to catch that we never quite get. And it's that's the goal, always the goal.
Right.
And so that's why I titled it that. And then I realized after he decided to join me that we have all these trains and planes and stuff going through in watercolors.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
So it should be
that's a movie, right?
I like it.
It should be fun.
That's great.
And I have to tell you, my website is terrysuniverse.com.
Terry's Universe.
terrysuniverse.com.
Yeah, 2 R's and a Y, just like the boys.
All right, Brooke, I want to know what you did with the 17-foot wall.
What?
Yeah, what did you paint?
Didn't you say you had a big, huge wall?
4x4. The wall.
The wall.
Oh, well, that's how I got here, right? Oh, well,
Right.
I've been trying to create paintings in order to stick them up on my wall.
Okay.
So far, I think I have only 3 paintings up.
Okay.
So
and
you're not
on
gonna
the giant
paint
wall
the wall.
yet.
They're not on the giant wall yet?
No, I have giant canvases, but I don't have studio space. I'm working from my kitchen counter, ladies.
Oh, wow.
okay.
That was my other question, is your studio.
I thought
Yeah.
maybe you were going to paint on your wall.
I thought you were too.
No.
Paint the
I want
wall.
to do,
Like a
because
mural.
I'll be wanting to change things up.
Yeah, of course.
that's
So
true.
you're going to hang paintings
I'm
up
going to
there.
hang paintings,
That's
and I'm
good
trying to
too.
figure out what I want to configure. 48 by
Right.
60s. What do I want to do? You want to do?
Yeah.
Tile it out. What do I want to do?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. But meanwhile, painting things
Right.
and
that'll
having
be-
fun with it.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
So
fun.
much fun. So much joy.
So if
That's
anyone
awesome.
wants to get involved with the Coeur d'Alene Arts Association, how do they do that? How do they become members? How,
That's right. I bet you go onto their website, which is,
What is
Coeur
the...
d'Alene Art Association.org.
There you go.
is it Coeur d'Alene or is it CDA?
Coeur d'Alene.
Coeur d'Alene
spelled
Art
out.
Association.org.
We do have our meetings. They are the third Thursday of every month, and we meet at 5th and Wallace at the church,
St. Luke's.
St. Luke's Church, and upstairs. And our summer meetings are at 6 o'clock in the evening. Our winter meetings are at 10 o'clock in the morning. That's for the people that drive from out of town and have snow and things.
Oh,
good.
sure. That makes
So
sense.
we're meeting at 6 o'clock in the evenings now. We won't have a meeting.
But it's winter.
I know. What are you talking
Right.
I
about?
know,
January.
but
Yeah,
they didn't
it's
tell us.
January.
They didn't tell us. We're still going on the summer thing. We're still I'm believing, truly believing,
It could
praying
happen.
every day.
Yeah.
One of the things I'd like to mention is Dave Passo is one of our gentlemen that does woodworking, and he asked at a meeting not that long ago, is woodworking okay? Is woodworking? Well, his work, if you see the piece that's being auctioned off, his
gorgeous.
woodworking is obviously a work of art.
Yeah.
And someone else had said it was a craft. I said, if you're going to mass produce something, that's a craft. But if it's
One of a kind.
one of a kind, it's going to hang on the wall. I don't care if it's a purse. If it's one of a kind that is designed to be displayed and looked at, and it isn't mass produced for sale, it's most likely going to go into the art category. So we have people that are very, very beginners. We have people that are semi-professional and professional. One of our past presidents, Joe Cronenberg.
Oh, Joe.
Yeah, Joe was a past president of the association who went on, and Terry Lee was involved early on in it. And he told me, I said, when you were involved, what drew you there? And he goes, I had to have someplace to show my art. Right? It's given a lot of people
That's great.
a beginning, and a lot of people come back and they're really shy, and they're like, well, I used to paint way back when, but I haven't in forever, and I'm not very good. And they're so good when they start. I'm so amazed. We have like 3 new people right now that have said that to me, and I look at their work and I go, you're doing fine.
Yeah.
You know, and it comes back to you. And if you're new and a beginner, this is a great group.
Yeah, it's a
Right.
very supportive group.
Really supportive group. And new people like Brooke and Judy Weir and other people that have come in lately have just really, well, they've energized me. They make
Yeah.
me, I mean, they have so many new ideas.
Yeah.
They're enthusiastic. They have energy. She sold, I don't know, 35, 40 raffle tickets in the first 2 weeks.
Wow.
I'm grumbling because I have to sell 5. She said, do you have any more? I said, I got 5. But she did. She did. She brought
Yeah.
in sponsors.
Yeah, and it's more than just painters that are part of the art association. There's people that have more dimensional work. We've got
Right.
Eileen comes in with her gourds.
Gourds. She does decorative
cool.
gourds,
Yeah,
and
they're
they're
gorgeous.
beautiful.
They're
Yeah.
gorgeous. And they're over actually right now at the Hayden Chamber.
We had a power
love
saw
that.
Her stuff's
artist,
up there.
power saw artist once, but she didn't stay with us very long. I think a lot of it was pretty conservative. This was a couple years ago, and I think a lot of people didn't understand her. But it made me sad when she quit because that was how she created, was with that power saw.
I love it.
Yeah, and I never really got to see much of her work.
Right.
So it's inspiring. Someone else called me and asked me, and I said, if you come, you will meet people of a like kind, and it's inspiring when you meet other artists. At first you're kind of nervous, but pretty soon you're part of the group, and they have the same problems you have. They have the same challenges you have, and they're looking for answers. And some of them have answers to some of yours, and you might have answers to some of theirs.
Exactly.
So it's the combining that really, really works.
It's that collaborative spirit.
I was going to say
and
that.
we're looking for a new,
I said it first.
that big
the words right out of my mouth.
I know collaborative too.
I was like, that's what I was going to say.
We're looking for a new, since we lost Frame of Mind, it got sold. And fortunately, Emerge found it because
it's great space. Yeah.
You know,
great space.
And I've been talking with Emerge too, because I told her, I said, you know, she asked me about it. I said, well, I thought it was for young people. And she said, it's for all ages. We don't want to be put in that. And I said, you know, they do that to us too. They think we're for older people, but we're for all ages. And we really want to try to do more together.
Right.
So that those titles go away, those ideas, and we're all intermingling, because it is...
because we all learn from each other.
Art for all ages.
Yeah, and it keeps older people young, and it keeps younger people learning old stuff.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So anyway, if somebody knows of an empty building...
Okay.
Oh, yeah, for
a
the
place
show.
that has a store that has an empty... We paid Frame of Mind rent, and every 3 months we trained out, and we paid to have our art there. And so it gave them a little dependable income, and it gave us a place to show.
Right.
So I don't know if we'll ever connect with that again, but we'd like to.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that would be good, and we'll certainly keep our ears open for that.
And I'm into ideas. Go on my website. If you have an idea for the Art Association, I will find it and read it and follow it up.
Great. Awesome. And that's CoeurLaneArtAssociation.org.
That's it.
And is there a membership fee?
$45 a year.
That's
Totally
a
reasonable.
deal.
Smoking deal.
Smoking deal.
Bargain.
We have a Christmas party. We have 1 to 2 to 3 shows a year. We show at the library in addition.
That's great.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, good. Well, thanks so much for being here.
This has been great.
Guys, thank you very much.
So make sure you go out to the fairgrounds
Come see us. We're there right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
At 10 a.m.
Yeah.
At 10 a.m.
They're going right now. They're leaving.
Right.
Yeah.
So thank
our
you so
lunch.
much, Brooke, Terry.
I can't wait
ladies.
to see your work.
Yeah, and
you.
Yvonne.
I'm
It
looking
was
forward to
nice
seeing
to
you.
see Yvonne again.
So I'm Allie.
And I'm Callie. And whatever you do today, make sure it's creative.
The Allie and Callie Artcast is a program of the Coeur d'Alene Arts and Culture Alliance and is sponsored by NIA, North Idaho Alliance, a woman-based leadership organization designed to inspire, uplift, and impact your community and lives. And Tubbs Coffee Roasters, globally sourced, locally roasted coffee.